generous spirits to others around us, Lord. And I just thank you, and I ask that you may keep your arms around us and your eyes on us and protecting us. In your holy name, amen.
What's up? Good morning.
Yo, what's up, brother?
Hope y'all are doing good. I'm gonna mute this little YouTube feed real quick. Hey, we're gonna go right over a kitchen table.
Spirits.
Nothing super crazy. I'm just gonna roll right through it, and I'm gonna go start to finish. So I need a volunteer. Who's got a quiet background that can help me out this morning? Anyone? Not all at once.
I'm walking.
What's up, El?
I was asking what you said. I walked back in the house.
I need a quiet background. I need somebody to role play with.
I got you.
What?
I got you.
Tammy's over here waving aggressively. What's up, Tammy? You good?
My mom.
Tammy,
I was saying, pick me.
All right, I'll pick you. You're my favorite anyway. I like you better than Elliot. Don't tell him. But all right, so we're gonna go through just the kitchen table. So Tammy, I'm gonna go into this blind, right? I know you obviously, but you can make up a character. It can be you. I don't care. Like, you can tell me whatever you want to tell me as I get to know who you are. I'm gonna ask questions just like I would on a normal kitchen table, even though I obviously know Tammy. I want you guys to see how I get to know people, how I build that rapport really quickly. And then I'm going to show you guys as if I'm training Elliot, because you should not go on kitchen table appointments without somebody you're training. And so if it's your own appointment, take somebody with you, but you should be recruiting, training, and developing people, right? So when you're recruiting and training people, what happens is you take them, they take you, and you get to train them with people. Okay. So, Elle, I'm not gonna pin you, but Tammy, I'm gonna pin you and myself on the screen here, so people can see us. And then just pretend Ellie just introduced us, and you're his mom, but just pretend I don't know you. But Tammy, you can make up kids, no kids, whatever you want. I don't necessarily care. I don't know what's going on. Someone's live at a concert right now. There we go. All right, sweet. So let me. I'm gonna turn off everybody's ability to unmute themselves real quick, just for this period of time here. So, all right, cool. Well, let's pretend Ellie and just introduce us to each other. So, cool, Tammy. Well, I'm excited to get to talk with you a little bit today. What all did El tell you about what he's doing? Did he give you much background, or just kind of say, "Hey, hop on for training"?
He gave me a little bit. He just said that, you guys do financial services, help people, what's the word I'm looking for? Leave legacies behind and stuff like that. Not very much.
Yeah, okay, awesome. And that's honestly, Tammy, like when I'm training somebody, I tell them not to give a whole lot of info, because frankly, he's not licensed yet, right? So he can't really give you much legally. But Tammy, where are you from? What state are you in? What do you do for work? What's your family like? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm originally from Michigan, but I live in Texas.
Okay.
I've got 4 adult children.
Okay.
And I do contract work. I travel for work.
Okay, what does that mean? What's like are you a contractor, like construction type of thing, or what do you do?
No, we do like private security. So,
so don't mess with you. You'll kick my butt, right? Don't mess with you then?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. And you said you have 4 adult kids. Are you married, single, relationship, just kind of living your best life? What's that like?
Living my best life right now.
Okay, awesome. And so you're doing contract work, you're doing security stuff. What do you like about it?
I get to travel for free.
Okay.
I get to go places that I've never been on somebody else's dime.
Hey, that's cool. Where's your favorite place you've been to?
I can't think of the name of it right now. Puerto Rico.
Okay, I was gonna say I can't think of the name. Sounds amazing. Wherever it is, sounds great. But Puerto Rico, cool. I've never been there. I've always wanted to go, but I've never been there. I haven't been there yet. But cool, awesome. And then, so are you like out and back traveling a lot? Do you get to see your family a lot, or are you kind of stuck traveling, not really getting to spend a whole lot of time with family?
I mean, it's up to me as to whether or not I want to work. So
okay,
it's not like I'm tied down to the job.
Gotcha. Okay, so there's a little bit of flexibility in there. So it sounds like that's something that's good too, right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And then what do you do for fun? Like when you're not working or when you're traveling, what are some things that you like to do when you have some downtime?
Go and hang out with my grandkids.
Grandkids? Awesome. How many grandkids do you have?
7.
7? Okay, sweet. And are they all like, you said you're in Texas, so are they all around you in Texas or are they kind of all over the place?
No, 3 are in Texas and the other 4 in Michigan.
Okay, sweet. Awesome. Well, cool. And then Tammy, what made you decide to hop on? Obviously, you're helping out Elian with a little bit of training, but he told you a little bit about it. Sometimes people just shut that down right away. What made you decide to hop on today?
I thought it might be a change.
Okay. All right, perfect. So, and I'm gonna stop for just a hot second. So guys, like as I'm talking to her, I'm learning about, you know, she's got grandkids all over the country. Well, not all over, but in 2 places, right? She travels for work. She can work when she wants to. And then I said, what made you hop on? And what'd she say? Right? Literally at the end, if you're paying attention, she said something that she said a word, it starts with a C. Did anybody else catch that? Or are we not paying attention? Change. Yeah, she's looking for a change, right? So she's looking for a change. So I know we got on this for a kitchen table, right? She's in the age range, she's got kids. So we're going to talk about the KT side, but I'm definitely thinking recruit on the back end. Right? Why? Because you're looking for a change. She's got a lot of flexibility and downtime. She's got kids all over the place. Like if I can, and I'll ask her, you'll probably hear me say this if I don't forget, but I'll ask her probably eventually like, hey, look, Tammy, if you could make the same amount of money, work when you want to and work wherever you want to, is that something that you'd be open to, being able to have a little bit more time with the kids? It's like a question like that is a huge monster tie down for a recruit, especially on the back end, right? So anyway, awesome. Well, Tammy, I appreciate your time jumping on here today. Obviously, you know, Elian's your son. I'm assuming you want him to be successful, right? That's why you're here helping him out with some training. But a couple of things, you know, number one, I'm excited to get to share with you what he's going to be doing. I really do believe that we can help everybody get into a better position financially. Whatever that looks like for each family might be a little bit different, but I do believe we could help you. So if you see value and you decide you want to move forward, awesome. If not, no worries. The second thing, Tammy, is we're always looking for great people. So as we're going through this, if you think of like, hey, you know what, my coworker would be great at this, or you should talk to, you know, your cousin Bob or whatever, just because you think they might be good at what we do, definitely keep those names in mind. But most importantly, Tammy, my job is to do 2 things. 1, train Elian. Number 2, get him some referrals so he can build his business. So Tammy, I'm going to go through everything. And if you see value at the end of this, would it be all right if I asked you for a few referrals for you to pass along to your son to help him build his business? Would that be okay with you?
Sure.
Awesome. So I'm going to share my screen, give you the rundown of who we are and what we do. So Tammy, we're with a company called Primerica. Have you ever heard of Primerica before?
No.
Awesome. Most people haven't, but Tammy, if I were to say to you, like a good neighbor, what would you say?
State Farm is there.
State Farm is there. So you would agree you've been brainwashed, right? It's okay. Don't worry. Everybody has. But you know the little green lizard runs around, save you 15% or more by switching to what company?
The little Geico.
Yeah, little Geico, right? So we know these things because these companies, they spend millions, hundreds of millions of dollars on marketing budgets every year. Right now, we don't actually spend any money on marketing. We're a 100% referral-based business. And so what we do is we just show people what we do and we educate them on how it works. And then we allow them to move forward if it's something they want to do. But we're actually the largest independent financial services marketing organization in North America. We have about almost 150,000 licensed agents across the country, most of which do this part-time. We're listed on the stock market. So I'm sure you've heard of like the S&P 500 or the New York Stock Exchange, right? So we're a publicly traded company. We went public in 2010, actually the same year Tesla went public. And we are the only stock that outperformed Tesla in 2010 on their opening year. Our stocks are about 183 a share right now. And we have about 2.7 million client investment accounts, about 5.7 million lives insured through our company right now. So the reason I share all of that is just because we're just a multi-billion-dollar insurance company and a multi-billion-dollar investment company that you've never heard of, just because you've never had anybody that knew you that worked in our business, or nobody that at least told you about it, right? So we're a top insurance company, top financial services company, best ranked in Forbes, top places for women to work, top place for diversity. I mean, there are all types of different accolades. That doesn't really matter though. What matters is what we do. And our mission is that we help people earn more income, become properly protected, debt-free, and financially independent. Tammy, so when I sit down with people, typically what happens is they're like, hey, you know what, I could identify and fit with one of those two sides, right? Either earning more money or becoming properly protected, debt-free, and financially independent. So pause for a second. I'm going to ask her here a question that I don't usually ask, but because she gave me the like heavy recruit vibes in the beginning, I am going to ask this question. So Tammy, which of those two, earn more income, become properly protected, debt-free, and financially independent, if you had to pick one or the other, which one sounds best for you? Like, which one sounds like it'd be most interesting right now?
Financially independent.
Okay, perfect. So I was hoping you would say that because I'm going to finish going through the KT presentation anyway, but I'm asking her that question because I felt like there was a recruitable opportunity there. And if she's like way more interested in making money, then I'm just going to go that way. I'm going the path of least resistance always, guys. Like, you want to type that in the chat, the path of least resistance. You do not want to be running into brick walls, right? So we got to go with the path of least resistance. We got to find where is the least amount of traction going to be, so I can have the highest rate of success. Thank you for the 3 of you that typed in the Zoom chat. Appreciate you. So awesome, Tammy. So what we do is we teach people how money works, because I think you and I could both agree, Tammy, that generally speaking, they don't teach us anything about money and finances growing up, right? They just teach you that you need to go get a job, make enough money, pay your taxes. Hopefully you'll be able to retire off your 401k and stuff like that. Or they don't really teach you anything about money and finances. Would you agree?
I agree.
Yeah, so what we do is we have this system. It's called a financial needs analysis. And what it does is it gives people a snapshot of their current financial situation, like where they're at right now. And it also shows them how to move forward so they can make better decisions and get to where they're trying to go. And we do that completely free. And basically, Tammy, what it is, it's essentially like a GPS. So Tammy, let me ask you a question. I know I don't know if you're in Texas right now, but I know you live in Texas, right? So let's say you're at home. And Tammy, I want to take you and some of your grandkids to Disney, and it's going to be completely free. But all you got to do is you have to drive there. And I send you the address of where we're going. What are you going to do with that address to get to Disney for the very first time?
Put it in my GPS.
Right, so you're going to put in a GPS. Now, Tammy, why would you not drive around aimlessly until you somehow magically ended up in the right place? Why are you using a GPS?
Because if I try to do it without the GPS, I might be in another country somewhere.
Right. We don't want to end up in Mexico by accident or Canada, right? So Tammy, what we're doing is we're helping people make the decision to get going in the right direction, right? We're putting that plan in place for people. And Tammy, I'm sure you would agree that having a plan is better than not having a plan, right?
Correct.
So Tammy, outside of yourself, who currently handles your financial planning?
Myself.
No one. Great. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to back up real quick. So Tammy, I'm stepping out you don't got to answer this question real quick, but guys, I hope you heard those 2 massive tie downs at the end of that. If you miss those 2 points, that is probably why you're not closing every time you sit with somebody. So I'm going to go, Tammy, I'm going to back all the way up to the beginning of how we do what we do. Okay. I'm going to go like Liz, guys, this is, Josh, listen, do not reinvent the wheel. Josh and I had a conversation yesterday about he's trying to go away from the system and do it his own way for a minute. And he's like, I got to come back. Right, Josh? So do not reinvent the wheel, guys. This is like, David, this is how you make 10 grand a month. Okay. Listen, these questions. So Tammy, how we do what we do is we help educate people on how money works, right? I think you would agree that through school, growing up, stuff like that, no one ever really teaches you anything about money, correct?
Correct.
Basically, you just got to make money. Hopefully you make enough in your 401k, and then eventually maybe you'll be able to retire. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
Awesome. So Tammy, you're not alone in that. Everybody I come across has the same thing. But what we do is we provide a financial needs analysis for people. Okay. The best way to explain that is kind of like a roadmap, right? What it does is it gets us to where we're trying to go. So Tammy, let me ask you a kind of a dumb question, right? So if I were to take you and the grandkids and I said, hey, I want to bring you guys to Disney. It's going to be awesome. We'll bring Ellie in too, I guess, because he's all right. Right. But you and the grandkids get to come. It's going to be amazing. It's completely and totally free. We're going to pay for everything. All you got to do is get there, but you have to drive. What are you going to do with that address when I send it to you?
Put in GPS.
You're going to put it into a GPS. Now, Tammy, why would you put it into a GPS and not just aimlessly drive until you somehow magically end up at Disney?
Because I need to get there at a certain time.
Because you want to get there in the right place, right? You don't want to end up in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. You don't end up in the wrong country. You want to get there in one piece as fast as possible, correct?
Yes.
Right. So Tammy, you would agree that having a plan is better than not having a plan. Am I right?
Yes.
And Tammy, outside of yourself, who currently handles your financial planning?
No one.
No one. Awesome. Guys, was that not basically verbatim of what I just said right before that? Very, 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 very close, right? Why? Because David, I've practiced this so many times. I haven't gotten it until I'm good. I've gotten it until I can't get it wrong. Because I know that is guys, that is $1 million question string that I just asked her. It doesn't need to be harder than that. Everything starts and ends on the FNA. Right? So she just told me she doesn't have a plan. Right? No one, she's doing it herself. So awesome, Tammy. I appreciate you sharing that with me. So Tammy, what I'd love to do is get back together with you, with Elian, obviously, and we're gonna get him some training on how to do those financial needs analyses. That's not a word, but y'all get what I'm trying to say. It's early, sorry. Haven't had my caffeine yet this morning. We're gonna do that financial needs analysis with Elian on the call. So Tammy, when we get back together like a week or so for your FNA, what I need you to bring is any investment statements, any insurance statements, and debt statements that you currently have, okay? So Tammy, as far as us getting back together for the financial needs analysis, is like a week or so okay? Or would a couple weeks out from now be better?
Can you explain what financial needs analysis is again?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically what we're doing with that financial needs analysis, we're essentially going to be like the Google Maps for your finances, right? Like, because you said that you would put your stuff into a GPS, right? And you would get the directions to go to where you're trying to go. So the financial needs analysis, what it does, initially we put all your information in and it pinpoints where you're at, right? So you're in Texas, or let's say you're in Dallas, Texas, and you start the GPS. Well, the GPS has to figure out where you're at. So the FNA starts by identifying where you are right now. Right. And then what it does is it shows us where you're headed. Right. So if you put all your information into the map and it told you were heading to Mexico City, right, or New Mexico or California, you'd be like, oh, crap, going in the wrong direction. Right. But the only way you would know that is by putting your information into the map, because otherwise you're just going to drive aimlessly until you maybe end up where you're going. So what we would do, the financial needs analysis takes like 15 minutes. We punch all your information in and it tells us exactly the direction you're heading in. And then it allows you to make decisions based on having all the information and looking at the calculator, telling you when you're going to be able to retire so you can make better decisions about that. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So as far as us getting back together, what's better, like this time next week, or do you want to do 2 weeks out from now?
This time next week is fine.
All right, perfect. So Josh, I was talking to you about this yesterday, right? Affirm, answer, close. She didn't give me an objection. She just had a clarifying question, right? What exactly is a financial needs analysis again? So I didn't really need to affirm it because it wasn't an objection, but I answered her question. I asked her, Brian, does that make sense? She said, yes. I said, awesome. So as far as us getting back together, everybody type down in the chat. So as far as us getting back together, what's better for you, next week or the week out? I didn't say, so Brian, is that something you want to do? No, so as far as us getting back together, Tammy, what's better, next week or the week after? She said this time next week. Awesome. So I'm locking it in the calendar, right? So Tammy, I'm going to send you another calendar invite just like you got for this one. Okay. Tammy, I'm also going to text you my email address so you can send over any investment or debt statements. I don't need like account numbers and all that crap. I just need to know the balance and the interest rates for all of those things. And then if you have any investments, wherever the allocations are, that would be helpful. But if you can't find them, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so we're going to go through all that next week. Just a basic discovery meeting, basically. No pressure to do anything. It's just so you can have an idea of where you're at. Is that fair?
Yes.
Awesome. And Tammy, so I'm assuming, but I want to make sure that I'm not wrong here. I'm assuming you see value in what Elian's going to be doing for people. Is that correct? So, okay, awesome. Well, I'm excited to meet with you next week and give you a little bit more information on that. But currently, Tammy, right now, just a couple questions before we get out of here, just so I have an idea of what we're going into next week. Do you have any like old 401ks from any old jobs, any pensions, inheritance, anything like that that you aren't sure what to do? It's just kind of sitting there?
No, I don't.
Okay, awesome. And then let's see. Sorry, I don't have my normal notebook where I like pre-write all I got this little teeny piece of paper, so I'm trying to make sure I don't miss my last couple questions. Awesome. Well, Tammy, is there anybody that you can think of that Elian should reach out to? I know you said you got like 4 adult kids, a bunch of people you work with. Anybody that maybe just had a baby, just got married, anything like that you can think of that would help Elian, continue to grow his business?
His sister may be able to help.
His sister? Okay, what's her name? You said it was like
It's
Jul-
Shanae.
Shanae, great. Okay, awesome. Shanae. And then what makes you think that she would be somebody good for Elian to reach out to? She like just get married, baby? Is she like newly an adult? Like, I guess what makes you think she would be a good fit?
Because I think she'll be a good fit because she needs money.
Okay. Awesome. Is there anybody else you can think of that he should reach out to?
My sister,
Okay, and what's her name?
Tina.
Tina, awesome. And Elliot, I'm assuming that you have contact information for these people since they're like your aunts and uncles, correct? Okay, awesome. Now if they aren't family, I'm gonna get the number, right? So Tammy, give me somebody who's not a family member. So Tammy, anybody else you can think of, maybe one or two more people that would help Elliot build his business?
One of my coworkers,
One of your coworkers? Cool. What's your coworker's name?
Sheila.
Sheila, awesome. And what makes you think that Sheila would be a good person to reach out to?
Because she's like leaving this business that we're doing, and I think that she's probably not financially stable right
Okay.
now.
Okay, awesome. And then what's the best way to get a hold of Sheila? Like an email or like a phone, like a text? What would be better?
Text
Text, cool. And what's her phone number again? Like 213? And she-
222-988.
Yeah, so she like, and I'm not gonna just sit there and be like, what's her number? And like stare at the camera. I'm saying like an area code first, right? Like what's the number again? Like 517. No, she's like, no, it's 816. I'm like, okay, great. 816. Perfect. Like you have to like, right? Because what's everybody's knee-jerk reaction in that moment is to correct you and give you the right number, right?
Right.
So you want to start that process. Okay. So, awesome. Well, Tammy, I really appreciate your time I'm still sharing my screen. I'm sorry. I would have unshared my screen as soon as I booked the FNA. I'm unsharing my screen so I can actually see Tammy. My bad. But cool. So Tammy, I really appreciate your time today. I'm super excited to get back with you next week. I think we're going to be able to help get you in a much better situation and really show you exactly what it is that Elian's going to be doing. And we do those financial needs analysis for free. So Tammy, if you could do me a huge favor and do Elian a huge favor, if you could give each of those three, Shanae, Tina, and Sheila, if you could give each of those people just a quick text with Elian in the phone as well, just, hey, Elian, this is, I mean, obviously, Shanae and Tina, right? But for Sheila specifically, hey, Sheila, this is Elian, my son, he started working in financial services, give him 10 minutes. I think you'll see a lot of value, just something like that to warm up the conversation. That'd be awesome. Is that something you'd be willing to do?
Yes.
Perfect. And then, that's awesome. So Tammy, I'm really excited to get with you next week. Do you have any questions for me before we get out of here?
No.
All right, perfect. Well, Tammy, last question before we leave. Outside of your job, who currently handles your life insurance?
AAA.
AAA. Okay, great. And do you know what type of policy it is by chance?
It is a accidental death and dismemberment.
Accidental death and dismemberment. Awesome. And then guys, I'm going to go right into the life insurance close right there. And I'll go over that next week for you guys because it's a little bit late and that's going to take another 10 to 15 minutes to really uncover what that is and explain all the value. So I'm not going to go over all of that right now. Hopefully y'all understand. I got a thing I got to be at in 20 minutes. So hopefully you guys understand that. Does anybody, I'll take like 3 minutes of questions. Does anybody have, I'll take like 2 or 3 questions really quick. Does anybody have any questions about everything we just went through? Al, go ahead. Wait, you can't unmute yourself. Hang on. Let me fix that. You should be able to unmute yourself now.
Yep. Okay. So going back into action for the referral. So you said, I'm sure you found value in what, Elian will be doing enough to, did you say enough to give the refer him out?
No. So in the beginning, I'm saying, Tammy, if you see value in what Elian's doing, I'm going to ask you for a couple referrals at the end of the appointment. Is that fair? She says yes. Okay. If they say no, I'll be like, okay, no problem. But Tammy, just so you know, like the main purpose we're here right now is so you know enough about what he's doing to refer people. Does that make sense? She's going to say yes. And I'm going to tell her again, I'm going to say, so my job is to give you enough value to feel comfortable referring people to Elian. Is that fair? And then she's going to say yes. And then I'm going to go into the presentation from there. So if she gives me a no, I'm going to back up. I'm going to explain again why we're here. It's not to sell you anything. It's to give you value so you feel comfortable sending him people. Then I'm going to move back to so if it makes sense, would you be willing to give referrals, right? Okay. So Elian, go ahead. Did that help?
Yes. So,
okay.
perfect.
And then afterwards, after the appointment, right? And go back and watch the video. I would encourage you all to go back and watch this morning. I think this was one of the better run throughs I've ever done for you guys. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask her, like, Tammy, did you see value? Right? Why am I asking that? Because at the beginning of the call, I said, if you see value, I'm going to ask you for some referrals, right? So Tammy, did you see value in what Elian's going to be doing for people? She said, well, yeah, kind of. Cool. And then I said, great. Well, Tammy, who's a couple people that you think Elle should reach out to? Right? And who's somebody that just had a baby, has a young family, just switched jobs? Like, you got to think of a couple different, somebody that might be good at the business, that type of thing, right? So you got it. Dude, this business is all about tie downs, because people don't want to contradict themselves. So you're getting yes answers throughout the entire appointment, and then you're asking them to fulfill the yes that they gave you 5 minutes ago. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
That was a little tie down. You see that? Did you see that one? I got a bunch of them. Keep them
Let's
coming.
go.
Cassie, what's up?
Yeah. So there we go. Sorry. Elle and I are in the same house, so it got a little
Okay.
echoey. All right. So if they just say like, yeah, I can give like Elian some referrals, I'll just, I can do that like after this, or I'll do that, later or something like that. Like, they don't want to give the people up to you. They're just like, oh, I'll just give them. Yeah, I'll figure out some people later for them. Like, do you just leave that alone, or would you like try to overcome that objection?
Yeah, no problem. I definitely understand that you want to make sure that he gets the referrals, not me. That's totally fine. So we're going to get together next week and do that financial needs analysis. Cassie, I'm going to do that thing completely and totally free for you. The only thing that I ask is that you have those referrals to give to Elian before we do that next week. Okay. And some people will, some people won't. Right. But again, my job is to get the referrals. So, hey, we're going to do the financial, like, a lot of you guys are doing a lot of FNAs, which is freaking awesome. But if you're doing FNAs and you're not getting referrals on the FNA, you are leaving thousands of dollars on the table. Probably more than that, honestly, probably tens of thousands of dollars through investments and income through insurance sales and switching things over and home and auto and securities. Like, for real, I'm serious. So you want to make sure that you're giving enough value that they want to come back and do the FNA. Like, and it depends. Sometimes I'll share a little bit about mutual funds and stuff like that if they're the green brain type of person. But if they're not, I mean, if they're like, Tammy did not give me like, I need all the information vibes to book the next appointment. I was like ready to just book. So she booked the next one, right? But if she's like, well, I don't know, I need more info, I'd be like, cool, well, let me share a couple more things with you. And then I'll show her the rule of 72, the theory of decreasing responsibility, right? I'll show her the debt stacking just so she has a better idea of what we're doing. And then I'll book and after each one of those, I'm going to try to book the FNA the same way. Right. So hopefully that was helpful. But always set the precedence for the referral. Hey, I'm doing this for free. The only thing that we ask, the only quote unquote payment is that you refer people over to Elian. And if it really is her son that I'm doing an appointment with, my only payment, Tammy, that you have to give me is you got to give your son some referrals so he can continue to grow his business. Is that fair? And if she's going to say no, she's probably not a very supportive mother in the first place. So I'm not saying that you're not. I'm just saying if she's like, no, I'm not going to give my son referrals. Like, God bless. Like, and then I'll have to have a heart to heart with Elian later. Like, hey, dude, look, like, we're going to meet other people, and those people are going to probably support you a little bit more than your family might. Right. Obviously, Tammy didn't do that. She's on this call, but you understand what I'm saying. So, Jerica, and then I'll come back to you real quick, Elle, and then I'll need to be done. What's up?
You actually just answered my question. I was just going to be, do you always say that the FNA is for free and ask for those referrals?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I haven't been very good at that up until recently, but yes. Yeah, you should. You absolutely should. What's that? Yeah, Taylor said that our numbers and our team reflect the difference. Like that, I mean, I'm closing something every day right now that's making me money, not just recruits, because I'm getting referrals, because I'm setting the precedence for that. Right. And so now I've got a hot market of people to talk to because I'm getting warm introductions every time. And I'm just doing mobile FNAs too. It takes 5 minutes. Right. But it's still more value than they get from their financial advisor at Edward Jones that they're paying $100 a month for. Elle, what's up?
I honestly just wanted to point out to the team that the way you and my mom just had that mock interview, that's actually like almost similar to like when we first all got on a call. Like I was actually telling Cassidy, I was like, that's crazy. It kind of sounds like our first conversation together. Just the tie downs and how you would beat out some of her objections, and then also like with the referral thing. So more or less just like the consistency of what you've been doing from since I've started the business to now, and how it actually does work, you know, and it's more or less just keep doing what you're doing for the
Yeah.
team.
Well, thanks. Appreciate it. Guys, look, like it's